All right, what's up, my brothers from another mother? It is time to do a update on cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the like. Some of you guys in the last month, I've had a pretty busy January. Actually, I've been kind of recording my videos in batch and then releasing them out over time because I was out of town on vacation for a bit in Mexico. But a lot of you guys in the comments have been like, "Hey, how is your cryptocurrency and your Bitcoin doing?" Kind of in a sarcastic way because the markets haven't been doing so hot. So let's do a bit of an update and talk about what's been going on and what things look like for 2018 because it's still something I'm very interested in and probably continue to put out content. I know a lot of you have got some use out of it. So let's do a quick update here, see if we can get this done in about 10 minutes. Well, over here on coinmarketcap.com, we're showing about 1,500 cryptocurrencies currently. I think in my last update there was 1,300. So they keep adding new currencies and tokens. And I said this last time and I'll say it again, we don't need this many fucking tokens and currencies and all that sort of thing. Realistically, we're probably going to have this entire thing distill and basically wind down to a few that are really going to be dominating the market. Kind of like, the internet was in the early 90s, mid 90s. This is where we are in the cryptocurrency blockchain space. There's no Facebook, there's no Google, there's no, YouTube right now in the current space. We haven't seen the clear winner. So what's happened in the last month, since you guys keep asking, is we've seen things correct. We've seen things adjust to real world market conditions. Market cap has gone from, I think it's billions we're at here, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. Okay, so it's $556 billion market cap, which by the way is nothing because the stock exchange market's something like $23 trillion. So it's a drop in the bucket compared to what the other markets look like. Market capitalization peaked early January around 829 billion, and we're around the 557 currently. So we've seen it correct and cool, but we've seen this over time. If we stretch this out over to all, you'll see now these bumps don't look like much. They look like insignificant speed bumps, but realistically the correction is of nearly the same magnitude here, here, and here. But again, in the last few months, we've seen a adjustment to real world conditions. The thing that you got to understand, guys, is there's no mass adoption yet. Okay, we don't have cryptocurrencies as a world standard reserve currency. It hasn't been adopted to that point yet. It will get there at some point, but we are seeing a slight adjustment. So if I could distill it in a couple of words, there's a sale on. We haven't seen these kinds of prices in a long time, actually. I mean, I started looking at this sort of stuff in late November, early December. I'm still up on my holdings. So if you're smart about what you're doing, you'll be okay. So now's a good time if you want to get in, if you've been thinking about it, sitting on the sidelines. This is still something that is going to do well in the future. Again, what we need to see in 2018 is more mass adoption, more places accepting a cryptocurrency or multiple forms of cryptocurrency using for exchanges, and also things like Ethereum being used for more contract work. It's more of a token used for smart contracts to contract between two parties in an easier, simpler way. If you're not sure how Ethereum works, you can Google or YouTube that. There's lots of videos that explain that. What else did I make a note on? A few of you guys have asked me about my holdings. I don't talk about my holdings. What I will tell you is what I think are still good buys. So like anything here up in the upper top end, we're talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. If you want to bet against the decentralized currencies, might be something you want to take a bet on. It's going to be run by the banks, credit card companies, financial institutions for big payment transfers. A lot of people in the crypto space don't like it because cryptocurrencies were decentralized and created without permission, so anybody could basically access and transact with them. Although most cryptos have a limited supply. So Bitcoin, for example, has a limited supply. Ripple doesn't. They can keep printing it like money, so they control it. It's centralized currency. But there could be some money to be made there. I think that went up to about $3. It's at $1.27 right now. You'll see there's still a lot of movement here. Some of these will move up 37%, 21% in a 7-day period. Although, a lot of this is still quite red. Another great coin is Litecoin, very similar to Bitcoin's properties, although it's faster and cheaper to settle transactions. There's also a limited supply. The biggest problem with Bitcoin right now that's holding it back, I think, is the implementation of the Lightning Network, which will speed up transactions. So instead of taking 45 minutes to an hour to move money from place to place, it'll take a lot less, seconds, maybe minutes. And the cost per transaction. You still pay quite a lot of money to move Bitcoin from one wallet to another. A couple weeks ago, I moved from one exchange to I think my Nano Ledger. It was a small, yeah, it was a small amount. I think it was about 230 bucks, but I paid about $32 to transfer that money. So the biggest problem with Bitcoin right now is speed of transfer and cost of transfer. They're working on solving that. There's a lot of developers working on that to get this Lightning Network thing working. Not exactly sure the details on that, but I know from 30,000 feet looking down on it, this is something that they're working on to fix. So I expect this price to continue to go up. I'd say it's probably hit around the bottom. Some people say it might go down as low as $8,000 US. I think we've probably seen it bounce across the bottom for the last little while. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, I'll talk about at the end of the video how to get into that in a second. What else is good on this list? I kind of like Steem as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Steem, but Steem's an interesting project. Let me see here. Steem. I like this one because we can hop into, Crypto Investor, I think is the guy's name. Steemit. Let's see if we can find a Steem. It's kind of a mashup between social media and like Reddit. And the way it works, so this guy's a YouTube creator. I subscribe to his channel. I encourage you to watch his stuff as well. He does a very good job of distilling currencies and the market conditions. So he'll post something and he'll link the video in his posts. Again, it's like social media, but the biggest difference here is, unlike Facebook or YouTube, which is completely centralized, where Mark Zuckerberg decides if you get to see the content, or Susan Wojcicki or whatever her name is, the feminist defamation league of YouTube decides whether or not you get to see content. One of the biggest problems that I've had with YouTube over the last couple of years is because I talk about unpopular stuff that might offend some people from time to time, because I point to the cold hard truth, the red pills and sort of things like that. A lot of my videos have either been demonetized, had limited monetization, or the CPM on the monetization dropped something like 80 to 90%, which is why I've relied so heavily on creating content more specifically for my Patreons. Link in the description below if you want to access those perks. They're worth it. Trust me, I've got well over 100 people contributing there now. But Steemit's an interesting project. I have a feeling that this project here, which is fairly low, well, it's not fairly low, I mean, it's number 27 out of 5,000 currencies roughly, but it's got a value of 545. But what it really is it's like social media. It's like Facebook smashed into a Reddit. And you create content, you put your link, you get paid in Steem dollars, like you earn $144 here. It's public, of course. And people that contribute commentary to the content also earn money as well. So, this guy earned $7 for his comments, $6. If you don't add a lot of value, you usually get peanuts, so 7 cents. So you're discouraged from continuing to, contribute. And, if you're a troll, you basically don't get much for your work. So it's an interesting project. I'm keeping my eye on it. I set up a Steemit account about 6 or 7 months ago. I haven't really done much with it. I might start doing more with that in the future, but there's a lot of interesting projects out there. Most of them are worth nothing. They don't solve any real problems. They really don't. They're just ways to raise money, and sometimes they work out. Last thing I want to talk about is Bitconnect, because this folded on itself in the last month. Actually, let me go here first. Bitconnect, there it is. This was in the top 20. It is not even on the radar screen right now. I think it's probably like closer to the top thousands now. But this is it was called a cryptocurrency. It got on my radar screen close to the end of November. Somebody was telling me about it. And I kind of did a little bit of research on this sort of thing. And I discovered it's a Ponzi scheme, and I stayed out of it. And I, in fact, encourage you guys in one of the prior videos, stay away from Bitconnect. It's a scam. And there were people in the comments who said, it's not a scam. I earn lots of money, and you should, click my link and sign up underneath me and earn money too. The two biggest problems with it was, one, it guaranteed results. It guaranteed a interest rate, which is the very definition of a Ponzi scheme. And number two, it was a pyramid scheme. They encourage you to bring people in under you, and as you approach the top of the pyramid, you earn more from the people under you. Two major flaws. There were a lot of dumb people that fell for this. There were people that messaged me and said, I'm going to sign up for Bitconnect. And I said, hey, do it, but do it knowing that you're probably going to lose all your money at some point. The problem with these house of cards is what ends up happening is it basically relied as a lending platform on the value of Bitcoin continuing to go up. And as soon as the Bitcoin value declined and dropped in the last month or so, the entire house of cards came collapsing down, and millions of people, I'm not talking about hundreds or thousands of people, but a lot of people, probably hundreds of thousands of people minimum, lost a shit ton of money. If you go into YouTube and search Bitconnect scam, you can see all kinds of videos here where people have lost their entire life savings. There was one guy, the video's not showing up here for some reason in this search, but there was one guy, I watched his video, and he had lost basically his entire life savings. He was putting a few $1,000s into Bitconnect, hoping to get good returns so he could invest in stem cells for his autistic son. And you got to feel sorry for people like that, but at the same time, guys, do your research. You know, if you are looking at a token or a currency and type in scam or review behind it, you'll probably find some information that will reveal the truth about it. So do your own background research. That is your January update. It's the end of January right now, January 30th, end of the day, so you'll probably see this in a day or two when it goes to the channel. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave a comment below. Before I go, actually, let me mention Coinbase one more time. This is where I buy most of my cryptocurrencies, especially on dips. I use my phone. It's connected to my credit card. Yes, they do charge higher transactions fees, but my other option in Canada, for example, is Quadriga, and usually the split between what I'm buying on the Coinbase exchange versus the Quadriga exchange, with the differences of the fees, it's a wash because I buy it for cheaper on Coinbase. They only have the major currencies: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. You'll do fine with any one of these, I believe, in the future. Again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just sharing my experiences. But if you want to get into crypto, I think now is a good time to do it. You get a $10 free bonus if you buy at least $100 US, or I believe 130 Canadian, and I get the $10 as well. So it's an affiliate link. If you want to sign up and get into it very easily, that's what I recommend. You guys are always asking me, how do I get into it? Where do I start? That's where I would start. Okay, you've got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin. These ones here are more of a currency. Bitcoin's more of a store of value. Litecoin's also a currency. Any one of these, I can't see, you know, it going too sideways this entire year. I mean, I'd be surprised if any one of these went down. I mean, they're all still doing quite well this year. So that's your video for today. Leave a comment below. Smash the like button if you have any requests for the next video. I'm going to continue to do these. I'm still very interested in the cryptocurrency market and the blockchain. Still very involved. So yeah, there you go. There's your crypto red pill today. Talk to you guys later. Have an amazing one. Peace.